Hello, beloveds. Welcome to this crystal activation to tune into the energy of discernment and grounded intuition. So, we're going to work with Archangel Uzziel and Smoky Quartz, which is a pairing that comes from the Crystal Angels 444 book and the Crystal Mandala Oracle, and something that I feel is very beneficial at this particular time. So, especially for this eclipse energy that we're moving through, an eclipse energy is something that we can tune into at any time. And it's really about this spiritual refresh and reboot. So, a solar eclipse is like a supercharged new moon. And the new moon is about coming out of the periods of uncertainty or deconstruction, things breaking down, and being able to step forwards with a feeling of clarity, strength, confidence to take those first steps, knowing that then the next step and then the next step and so on and so forth will become known to us. So we don't necessarily have to see the whole path. We don't necessarily have to know everywhere where we're going. We just need to know what it is we need to know right now, which in my experience with spirit, they always say, this is what you need to know right now. And you'll know it. It's in your life. It's around you. You understand what's being asked of you in this moment, whether it's to rest or to pause or to percolate or to take action, to initiate something. You kind of know it. And then beyond that, which I'm always asking spirit about and pretty much always being told when it's the right time, you will know it. They're very patient with me. I have a curious mind and I like to see where, the writing on the wall and how things are going to go, even though sometimes it's not right for us to have that information for whatever reason. So sometimes it's because it would be too much and we'd freak out, and other times it's because it's unscripted and the way it's going to happen is yet to unfold based on the choices that we make in this moment. But we can never miss our destiny. We're on the path and we're taking the steps, and that's reassuring to know. So before we dive into this crystal activation, and you can have a smoky quartz with you if you would like, but I'm going to call on the diva or the spirit, the oversoul of smoky quartz to work with us, so you don't necessarily have to have that crystal with you in order to do this work. I'm also wearing 9 million things, but I have my smoky quartz here to kind of bring this energy through for us. But before I do that, I want to share a short story with you about why grounded intuition is so important and what it actually means for us. The body is so often underestimated on the spiritual path, but it is this incredible resonator that allows us to feel for the truth of intuition. So sometimes people say, how do I know when something is an imagination or something is an intuition? How do I tell the difference? Or wishful thinking, how do I know? And the body is one of our great allies in this regard, because when something is a sign for you, for example, so you could have three people standing, all witnessing something taking place. Maybe it's a rainbow, maybe it's a certain bird flying through the air, whatever it is. When it's meant for you and it's a sign, you feel it in your viscera. Like your body resonates, your body responds to the energy of what it is that you are perceiving, what your experience is in that moment that's being reflected back to you from the universe. It's a subjective thing, but that doesn't mean it's invaluable. That's the feminine wisdom. The person next to you might be having a completely different experience. The person on the other side of you might be thinking about whether or not they turned off the stove and locked the door before they left the house. It might not be having any effect on them. The thing is happening, but it's your personal experience that helps you understand, what does this mean for you? And there's value in that. So when we're connecting with this energy of grounded intuition or embodied intuition, it's really about recognizing how your body can assist with this process. And as this resonator, it not only helps us understand what we're feeling, it gives it a ground, but it also provides a kind of a crucible, a container for this amazing work of the spirit and the soul to kind of bubble away and allow for you to grow and evolve and express your spirit through this lifetime. It's such a gift, and it's a hugely creative gift with a lot of free will and choice, but it's not always easy to differentiate our choices and our freedom from the many shoulds and fears and obsessions and oppressions that happen in our own minds, often fed by the world around us. So this grounded intuition is going to be, the crystal activation process is going to be supporting you in clearing that stuff out, coming back to your own truth, having a sense of protection, strengthened, spiritual immunity strengthened, being able to drop into your reality, your values, your story, your narrative, and understand it not as an identity which would trap you, but as a process and a story to help you craft and create and take your journey and grow and evolve as a spirit being, which is what you're doing through this human body. So, the story I want to share with you briefly is actually something that was told to me in many years ago. And it was about three rabbis that all wanted to see God. And God was in a room, and one by one, they walked into the room to witness God. And three different things happened to those three different spiritual aspirants. The first one went completely insane. The second one dropped dead. And the third one became enlightened. Same God, same room, three different people. What is that about? You could interpret that in many ways, but let's say for today, for the teachings that we're talking about now and why we're doing this healing process activation, this is about our capacity to witness a truth. If it is so far out of what our nervous system is able to handle, we could say you go insane, we could say there's cognitive dissonance, you can't take it in. It breaks the mind too much. There's no preparation for it. So we don't want that. Dropping dead, it's like it's just completely ends everything. There's no sense. It steals the life force away. It's too much to be able to handle, or it just brings to an end something. It's so dramatic, so radical. We can't deal with it in our world and in our life. So we don't want that. This life is precious. We want to be working with it. So the third option, becoming enlightened, we rather like that. But what does it mean? Let's say in a very real world, accessible, everyday interpretation of that metaphor, becoming enlightened in that space, could mean something like we gain clarity, we gain a sense of awareness or a sense of perspective that helps us transcend the fixity or the repetition compulsion around the way we've been visualizing or imagining or thinking about a problem or a situation. It helps us break the pattern, open up our minds, our hearts, and allowing a different energy, a wisdom, a luminosity to come in and reveal, lighten the path, a different way, a different perspective, a way through out of that recurring pain, suffering, struggle, confusion, and into a different way of working with that reality, maybe even transforming our sense of what that reality could be or what it is. So there's these different responses to this energy. And in this story, if we use God as a symbol, for the divine presence, the deep intuition, the deep knowing. So then we come back to, okay, the body is a resonator. So we want to have that strengthening and that clarity in the body, that clarifying and that preparation, that purification, which is all to do with Archangel Uzziel and Smoky Quartz, where we are able to witness our truths, know our intuitions, and actually be able to feel them, respond to them, and bear them. Because sometimes, and we can know this, you ever have that feeling like it's in the back of your mind? You kind of know something, you kind of don't want to know it, so you keep it in the back of your mind. And the reason you don't want to know it is it's going to be hard to accept it. It's going to be difficult to move through it. And so we wait. And I don't want to criticize that because there is a genius sometimes in our resistance. As much as we say, we tend to demonize resistance and say, no, you must accept everything and move through. Of course, but as these three rabbis teach us, there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes we need to ready ourselves for a truth. We can kind of have a sense of it, but we need to strengthen ourselves to become able to act on it and to actually own that intuition and say, okay, I'm ready to really acknowledge the truth as I know it and I see it here. I'm ready to say this. I'm ready to deal with the fear or the shame or the doubt or the loss or the grief or the heartbreak or whatever it is that may come up in that very human way in response to acknowledging that truth. It doesn't feel premature. It doesn't feel like it's coming out of catastrophizing. It feels like it's connected to this grounded intuition that just knows and says, okay, this is what we're dealing with. We're going to move through it. And then we become more free. And there's the opportunity for something new and for something perhaps even more beautiful than what we had anticipated or hoped for with something else to arise. But we're ready to make that transition. So that is the spirit within which I'm offering you this healing process. Oh, that was a bit longer than I thought it would be. All right, let's do this. So you can just relax for a moment, rest in your heart space, just becoming aware of the flow of your breath, the warmth in your body, perhaps even the feeling of the air as it moves through your nostrils or through your mouth as you breathe in and breathe out. And then just allowing there to be a sense of flow, the flow of your breath, perhaps the pulse of your heart, the warmth of your blood as it moves through your body. And as you feel more of that peace and that stability around you, within you, let there be some beautiful magic circle. Let it be a color that feels good for you, and imagine it all around you, then rising up above you and below you. So it's making a beautiful spherical shape, like you have your own kind of bubble of protection around you, bubble of sacredness. And just feeling that that beautiful luminosity deflects any interruption or distraction or negativity and allows you to rest in the inner truth, the inner beauty of your spirit. And in this space, we connect with the heart by just thinking of something that you're grateful for. Breathe in, breathe out. Reflect on that gratitude for a moment. Really feel that heart space. And imagining that your awareness can follow your attention now. As you pay attention to your heart, your awareness follows, and soon it is transitioning from this everyday world into the spaciousness of your heart. And as that spaciousness opens up before you and behind you, above you and below you, to the left and the right, you have this sense of a sacred altar within the heart. And upon that altar is a beautiful smoky quartz. So let it be whatever size or shape or style that crystal wants to be. And we call on the angel of smoky quartz, the diva of smoky quartz, the energy that is in all smoky quartz. And we allow it to be upon that altar deep within the heart. And we feel its vibration. It's simultaneously grounding and protective. It absorbs negativity. It releases positivity. It's beautiful. Beautiful, precious crystal. Breathe in, breathe out. If you're sensitive to energy, you may even feel it as though it emanates certain vibrations through your body, through the cells, through your mind, through your energy field. Breathe in, breathe out. And then you're resting in this space for a moment, and we call upon beautiful Archangel Uzziel. We sense perhaps a pair of wings, this dark, smoky quartz-like color in the center, and these luminous wings expanding on either side, and this sense of an archangel, this powerful presence that is aligned with protection, with grounding, with strengthening. Sense that as those wings gently move, there is a breath of divine life. You breathe in, you breathe out, it flows through you like a current of energy. And as this smoky quartz and this beautiful archangelic energy just rest in the temple of the heart, you can allow yourself to really receive it, to almost, if you can, dissolve into it. Just for a moment, allowing yourself to be immersed as if you are letting your mind, your body, your energy dip into a sacred tea. Just be infused. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And sense that your nervous system, all these amazing little filaments of psychic wires and tissues and nerves that move through your body, that conduct energy and electricity, are being nurtured and nourished, strengthened, repaired where they've become burned out, opened where they've become blocked, but gently, very gently, with this intelligence of divine love. Nothing is forced, everything is just allowed to occur within this sacredness. And then if there is something that you've been struggling with, that you want discernment, that you want blessing for, you can imagine symbolically placing it upon this altar of the heart, just knowing that it's going to be sucked up and absorbed straight into that crystal energy, held beneath those wings, of the Archangel, completely received to be divinely blessed, touched, transformed. Really feel a generosity in your heart as you release this. Breathe in, breathe out. And then sense that it is returned to you in whatever form. It may have transformed. You may understand it. You may not. You don't have to analyze it. You can just receive it. Receive it into the palms of your hands. Allow it to dissolve into light and dissolve into your reality in whatever way, at whatever time, by whatever method it needs to arise. And just let that happen now. Breathe in, breathe out. And maybe sense yourself having a little shake, a little bit of grounding the energy through your nervous system, maybe a little bit of patting your hands on your legs, a little bit of moving your feet and toes perhaps, bringing your awareness back to the here and now. Taking a moment, again, breathe in, breathe out, and just resting in truth. Holy Ones, Great Ones, beings of divine light and healing, enlightened wisdom, Archangel Uzziel, Diva of Smoky Quartz, be with this beloved, bless them. May their journey unfold with clarity, with kindness, with beauty and with grace, in such a way that all beings gain spiritual benefit, so be it. And allowing all of that beautiful temple of the heart, the beautiful angel, the beautiful crystal to dissolve into light and dissolve into you, then becoming aware of the warmth of your blood and the air on your skin, being aware of that sacred spherical shape, that bubble of light around you. Let it dissolve, let it become more refined, and then let it settle around you, almost like a beautiful mist that protects you, allows you to breathe in and out, take in the world around you, metabolize what you need, and keep anything else out that is not rightfully yours, doesn't need to be in your energy. Feel yourself refreshed. Allow your energy to float down. If it's become focused anywhere in your body, just to let it settle and disperse. Become aware of your feet, really grounding through the soles of your feet. Becoming aware of the soles of your feet. Breathe in and out. Perhaps placing your hands in prayer. Coming back to your heart again and a moment of gratitude. Be kind to yourself. Take a moment to hydrate, come back into this world before you go off into the next stage of your life, whatever it is that you're doing later today or tonight. Be good to yourself, dear one. So much love from my heart to yours. Trust yourself, trust your process. Everything's working out to a plan, and we'll all find our way, supporting each other, connected to the light. Know that you are enough, and that all is happening with a sense of grace around you and within you. Be strong, be connected to that light. So much love.